Chillin' with Larry Megan.
Well, we could also... All right, guys, we are live. We're chilling with Larry Megan. That was very exciting out there. We just did a live test. If you saw it, if you were here a few minutes early, we just did a live test with Savvy Abby from Knoxville, Tennessee, and she was coming in loud and clear, huh?
Yeah, no, she was rock and rolling.
We had, Ronnie working the board. Jonathan, of course, was back with his To Be Perfectly Honest. Nice job tonight, Jonathan.
Thank you, sir.
I am going to go back. I was busy running around and stuff, but I'm going to go back and watch that whole thing with Zig Ziglar. I love Zig Ziglar.
I'm going to watch it again, too.
Although I didn't realize he was such a preacher. I mean, it was very church-like, you know?
He's very church-like. And that was, the first time when I found the video, I was like, wow, he should have been a preacher. But hey.
See, I really hadn't seen him before because I was just like read his books.
Yep.
But now when you see him in person, it's like he's taking us to church.
That's it. That's exactly it.
But anyway, it was pretty interesting stuff because I really need to, buckle down and lose weight and everything. And he's talking about, whatever you're committed to, whether it's business or losing weight or whatever.
Yep.
So that was pretty cool. All right, tonight we got I don't have one special guest for you tonight, but nevertheless, we're going to have a hodgepodge of a lot of things here. Tim just showed up. He's out in the green room. We're going to bring him out a little bit later. Jonathan we're going to wrap up the season of X Factor. We spent the whole season covering every show and, show after show after show. It was very disappointing. So now we finally had the finale, and Jonathan wasn't here last week, and we did the show on Wednesday night for Savvy Abby, and the finale I thought was spectacular. So we can't just let that go. We're going to finish it up to say who won. We know Melanie won, but we're gonna chop that up a little bit. And then, of course, later on tonight, I'm hopeful. No promises, no guarantees, but I'm hopeful that Mike Davis is going to stop by in the second hour because he is actually finishing up a TTV rotation at Shop NBC, and I know how those things are. At the end of those long rotations, you are just wiped out. You've done some, right?
I've done some TTVs. Thankfully, when Big Mike Bashilia is in town, he's the one that kind of sticks and does the majority. I do the overnights, I do the late night ones. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's exhausting. And
by the way, Ronnie, you and I didn't have a chance to really get together. We have some new graphics. There's one of them on the screen right now, but we also have a new side-by-side for me and Jonathan. So I think it's ID, side-by-side, Goodman, or something like that. But you got a whole bunch of new graphics. I want to thank my man, Karel. If you're watching the show, thank you so much for these graphics. You did a fabulous job. Another exciting thing tonight is Savvy Abby. We mentioned at the very top of the show, Savvy Abby, she was our guest last week, and she had a great time. She loved it. She was so enthusiastic, and I was thrilled with her enthusiasm. And, of course, she loves the old classic films, and she wants to do more, but she lives in Knoxville. Well, have no fear. We've been working on it all week. We got a new line put in, new account. We had new internet put in, everything. And so now we've got the hookup, and Avi is going to be our new Acorn TV correspondent, and I'm really excited about that. And she's going to anchor our Classic Film Zone, and tonight we're going to feature Holiday Inn. And we decided, Avi and I spoke about it on the phone, and we decided together, let's do Holiday Inn because we had a caller, 50mm Rick, called in last week, and he's been a great friend to the show, and he asked about that movie, and we didn't have anything queued up from it. So, Fitty, this one's for you tonight. Holiday Inn with Fred Astaire and Fred Astaire and Bing Crosby.
Careful now.
1942, and Avi's going to anchor that. And, she'll do the Classic Film Zone, which is going to be somewhere between 12, 15 minutes, something like that. But, that doesn't mean she has to just jet out of here. We can keep her around and we can take some questions and things like that. And she can be a correspondent, on the split screen as well. Now, another thing, if you're returning to the show, you might notice the homepage looks a little bit different. We don't see the chat board on the side of the homepage. A lot of discussion about that, and we made a decision. But you can still chat if that's what you want to do. If you want to interact with the other viewers, you certainly can do that. You go over to our Facebook page, the Acorn TV Facebook page. Just click on the little Facebook button over on the right-hand side. It'll take you there. You have to hit like. If you haven't liked it already, you got to hit like if you want to post on the wall and interact with the people over there. Also, if you want to send us any questions, here at the studio, when you want to interact with us and respond to us, or you want us to respond to your question, you can send in an email to contact@acorn.tv. And if you do that, we'll get those emails. And if it's something that we think is, we want to respond to, we'll respond to it. And also we're going to be monitoring the Facebook page as well. So you can type in questions right there on the Acorn TV Facebook page and the fan page there, and we'll monitor that. Now tonight, the last 3 weeks we've given away 3 nice gifts, 3 watches. I don't have an extravagant watch to give tonight, but we do have something tonight. Now let's go ahead and pop that up, Ronnie. Thank you. We've got a pair of tickets to AMC theaters. And if I feel in a good mood, maybe I'll give 2 pair away. But we'll give at least 1 pair away for sure. We'll see how it's going. We're getting the holiday spirit here. What you're going to have to do to win the tickets is very simple. We're going to do the rules a little differently. If you've been here for the last 3 weeks, we did it where you can only have 1 entry. Well, I had a viewer actually interact with me, and we actually ended up speaking on the phone. And the viewer had a very good idea. I didn't have time to talk to you about it, but and we're going to try it. We're going to give it a try this week. I don't know if we're going to do it this way every week, because I'm sure we'll have some more watches to give, and eventually we'll give a sterling as well. But we're going to test it out tonight, okay? Every time we make the call, okay, then you can send in an email, but you get 5 minutes to send it in, and then the box will be closed. The thing is, if I make another announcement later in the show, it'll be open again. So every time we make a call, you can send in an entry. It'll go in the box, in the contest drawing box. So if I make 4 or 5 calls, you could literally have 4 or 5 entries. Instead of, you put your entry in at the beginning of the show, and then you have to wait, over an hour, hour and a half to find out if you won or not. And every time we make a call, you can't send an entry in. If you're with us throughout the whole show and we make 5 calls, you can have 5 entries in there. Somebody coming in late to the show will only have 1 or 2 entries in there. It gives you more of a chance to win. That was an idea that was given to me by a friend of ours here in California, and his name is Frank. And Frank, I think that was a pretty good suggestion, and we're going to give it a try. So that's what we're going to do. Now, what you're going to do in the subject line, we didn't make a graphic for it this week, but in the subject line, you're going to put AMC for AMC Theaters. That's what we're giving away. You're going to send your email to contact@acorn.tv. This is the first call right now. You have 5 minutes to send in an entry. Okay. Contact@Acorn TV. It's a nice value. It's about $24, $25 for a pair of tickets.
Oh, no, that's a good, especially if you go at night.
Yeah, and these are what they call the premium ones, which they're good at any movie, anytime.
Nice. So IMAX, 3D, all of that jazz. Nice.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a sweet
gig.
So
again, you want to send in your drawing, send in your entry for the tickets. Send it one email to contact@acorn.tv and put AMC in the subject line. AMC, and you'll be in for the free tickets. All right. One more, I think, thing of business here, and before we get to the X Factor, is if you haven't already liked us on Facebook, we encourage you to do that. Please help us spread the word. Click on the Facebook button and like our Facebook page. Click on the Twitter button. Follow us on Twitter. We put out show alerts, when the shows are going to be on, what guests we're going to have. And we're going to have a lot of guests coming up over the next 8 to 10 weeks. I talked to a bunch of people trying to get somebody important in here this week, but just couldn't make that happen. People are out of town, whatever, between Christmas and New Year's. But I will have guests coming in over the next several weeks. So, we'll make those posts. Follow us on Twitter. Sign up on Facebook. We encourage that. And lastly, you can share this feed right now by just clicking the share button on the bottom of the viewer there in the bottom right-hand corner, and put it to your Facebook page. All right. I think we covered enough business, Jonathan.
I agree. I concur.
Okay. X Factor.
Yeah.
Now, you were on vacation.
I took the wife on a holiday cruise last week, so I didn't technically see the final show, but I mean, clearly I knew who was going to win.
Oh, and that is?
Melanie Amaro.
Well, it's interesting because I was kind of on Melanie and Josh the whole season, as
Right.
you know, and you were too. We both, at one point, I think about 6 weeks ago, you said something interesting. You said you'd be okay if they just did away with everybody else and we just watched Josh and Melanie for the last 5 weeks of the season, because there were so many disappointing shows throughout the season. And of course, they were in the final three, and I was on either one of those. But I got to say, once we got to the top five, Rene kind of won me over with that "Where Do We Go From Here?" that self-composition where he just sat up in the stool with the acoustic guitar, and I thought that was great. So I was kind of pulling for Chris, but I would have been okay with any one of these three.
Yeah, I mean, all three I would have absolutely applauded because they were extremely talented. Rene, even at the end, when he did do his song, when he finally got to play his own self-written, self-composed piece, that's when I was like, okay, this guy is extremely talented. And, I could have handled all three taking it home, but I'm glad Melanie did. That girl could just sing the phone book and I'd listen.
And it almost seemed fixed because in the sense of before they got to the big stage, Simon had actually cut her.
Yep.
He had 8 girls in Paris, France, at his home there, and his job was to bring 4. Well, he extended it. He ended up bringing 5, but she was actually one of the first ones he cut.
Oh yeah.
And then he made an exception, thinking, "Oh gosh, I made a mistake." And he went to her house in Florida, and he said, "Please come back." And she came back, and she ends up winning the whole thing. It almost seems like it was pre-scripted.
Didn't I? Oh, scripted. Scripted. I'm sorry. I think I remember saying something about the whole show was scripted. I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know, but listen, good for her that she won. And
Absolutely.
Just to give you a little credit, Jonathan, you had made a comment when she had that burst out one night where she said, "This is me, this is Melanie," and she was with her Virgin Islands accent. You felt like she had a turning of a corner, a breakthrough moment.
Absolutely.
And I think that was the turning point for her. She really broke out since then.
Well, then everybody got to see the true Melanie. Everybody enjoyed Melanie's voice before, but when she really kind of let the walls down and kind of showed America who she was, that's when everyone instantly fell in love with her.
Yeah. Okay. Well, listen, I know you missed the entire show last week.
I did.
And I just want to say, there were so many disappointing shows, maybe a good performance here or there, but more not so good, that we were kind of waiting for the season to end. And all of a sudden the finale comes on. I mean, both nights. And I thought the show was incredible both nights. Okay. So you had 6 or 7 weeks of bad shows, but the last week, I thought they were great.
Awesome.
So I guess that what this moral of the story is, you can just skip the whole season, come down to the final 3, and just watch the last show, and you're going to get a night of entertainment and a good show. But therefore, we followed it all year. I think it's only fair that we finish up and
Absolutely.
at least get to see some of the best show. Now, one of the things they did, which I didn't put in the system, but I thought was interesting, they each sang 2 songs. Okay. And what they did is... like the first song they sang with their, existing recording artist. Okay. So first came out Josh, and he sang with Alanis Morissette.
Oh, cool.
And I thought she was finished already, but anyway, but she was great. And Josh, I think, was a little shaky, to be honest. Okay. Then came out Rene, and he did a duet with Avril Lavigne, and I thought they were great. I mean, they were like a brother and sister. They were
nice,
great pair, great match. It was great. And then, of course, Melanie came out with R. Kelly. Oh. And that was R. Kelly. I mean, he blew me away. He was sensational. And Melanie was great, but she looked like she was giving respect to him, not trying to take the spotlight. Right. And I thought she showed great respect there. But then on the second round, they came out and they each, individually, sung a song. And Josh came out and he did At Last, which was what he auditioned with. Right. And I want you to take a look at Last here. This is from, again, this is Josh Krajcik. Now, he did it differently. When he auditioned with it, it was the original version. Music. Yeah. Here, he just strumming a guitar. He put his own spin on it.
Oh, nice.
And I thought it was pretty nice. Let's check that out. Listen, there you have it. Jonathan, now before I get your opinion, we're going to put our new technology to the test here.
Bring her on.
Abby, there you are.
Sir.
There you are, sweetie. What, did you get to see that?
I did, and I was pretty blown away, especially with such an iconic song. I mean, that was a risky move, and I think it was well done.
Nicely said, Abby. Well, we're finally doing it live from Knoxville. I'm so happy that, you were excited enough to want to do this. And it was just so much fun having you here last week, Abby.
Well, I did it for the microphone, Larry, but it's a joy.
Wait a minute now. It's really just the mic flag. That's your own personal microphone.
Yes, it is.
But you got the windscreen, I see.
I did. It's fancy.
Very nicely done. Do you have your coffee cup?
Oh, it's in the dishwasher, but that means I've been using it. So
Now, see, I don't put those in the dishwasher because I don't want the logo to come off. I wash them by hand. But that's cool.
It was a delicate cycle.
Nice. Nicely
Jonathan, what did you
put.
think of Josh? You didn't see that before. You were on vacation.
I hadn't seen that performance before. And, to go back all the way to his audition piece, which was the same song, he totally... it sounded like his, it sounded like his song. Yes, it is iconic. But, for him to put that spin on it and just be a guitar, just like Rene did with his piece, he did make it his own and it just rock started.
And Abby, you hadn't seen that before, had you?
No, sir, I had not.
Okay. Well, like I said, we covered the whole season when most of it was weak. The finale was pretty great. What's his name came out, Rene, after that, and he did what he auditioned with, which was Young Homie. Now, this time, before it was just Chris in a T-shirt on the stage by himself doing his original Young Homie. I told you about that last week. He performed
Didn't we see that last week?
No, we saw him do another original composition. Where do we go from here? But this is now Young Homie, his $5 million song to win the $5 million. But now it's produced with singers and dancers and all that. Let's check it out. Rene doing Young Homie. Jonathan, what do you think?
From the audition aspect of it, and then to this day, having it more produced with the backup singers, the backup dancers, Rene is a talented kid. He's gonna make some records. He's gonna make some money. I was impressed with. I love him and his music, so he will do well, especially if Reed picks him up and produces him.
All right, Avi, go ahead.
Okay, I have to disagree respectfully. Okay. While I really admire him for his personal endurance in this really difficult road to redemption and obviously recovering from abuse, as far as substance abuse, I honestly was underwhelmed. I'm not going to lie. I really respect, as I told you, Larry, singers and songwriters. I know it's exceptionally hard to do, to be able to write your own music and perform it, but to me, I think that they were more lauding his personal story versus his actual performance. I don't know.
She's got a good point there, Larry. And I don't know, Avi, if you were watching earlier when we were talking about it being scripted. That's truly what they're going for. In all of the instances of their little video clips that they do, it's all about, woe is this character, or here, let's buy into this character's story. And, that whether it gets the votes or not, I agree. I do agree that it is lauding his success, which is great. But at the same time, I think he will, people like simple things, and he's a simple guy that writes simple songs. So,
and I respect that, but I'm just thinking of it from the, for instance, he walks into a top New York executive's office. He performs that song in that same way, or he plays that clip for them. Is he going to get signed? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Well, that was a little bit of a trumped up production of that number, but when he came out on the audition stage, he was wearing jeans and a T-shirt just by himself, just kind of, bopping to the music. I understand he's not the greatest singer, but I can at least hear the melody with him. He does try. He can carry a tune. He is original. His lyrics are great.
Week.
And
Larry, what you played last week, I thought was fantastic. I really love that song.
That was Where Do We Go From Here when he was strumming with the guitar. But just so you know, for whatever it's worth, that Young Homie, not the one that we just watched, but the original version, when he did it on X Factor, right now is over 11 million views on YouTube. I don't mean 1.1 million. I mean over 11 million views.
And 10 million are from Larry.
No, that's not true because I have it myself already. So anyway, that's pretty funny. And like you said last week, Abby, that's really not my style. Some tattooed up hip hop dude, it's really not. But he's not just a rapper. I didn't really care for Astaire at all. But this guy plays guitar, plays piano. He writes his own music. You can hear the melody, not the greatest pipes, but great music. I think he has great musical talent. But okay, to each his own, no problem.
You know what, though? I have to give him mad props for sending out a positive message through that genre of music.
Thank
because
you.
I think that is few and far between, especially in today's society. So, my heart goes out to him. A tremendous respect for anybody that has the chutzpah to go about it and do it.
Well said, Avi. That gets a little bit overlooked here. Through that genre to send out a positive message like that, I think that's underneath why I'm so drawn to this kid. It's nice to see nice young kids, and speaking of nice young kids, to me what stole the show. Mm-hmm. I mean the finale. I'm talking about on the second night. Did you see the second night? Now you said you were going to be home in time to watch that, Avi, but you probably didn't really watch it, did you?
I didn't. I'm not going to lie to you, Larry. I can't.
That's fine. You don't have to lie, but because we'll just show you. To me, the one who stole the show, and I know you were somewhere down in Mexico at the time, right?
Yeah, I think Honduras or Belize. Yeah.
Okay. I can't believe I'm going to say this because I never had seen him, but Justin Bieber stole the show to me. This kid was sensational. I thought he was, he's a clean-cut kid. He has respect for his elders, but he can sing. I mean, this guy, what a voice. Check it out. Now, this is a little bit of a longer clip, but I want you to see this. He does a duet with Stevie Wonder, and he steals the show, in my opinion. Check this out. Now, Avi, I could see you over there, but watching this thing. But I know you didn't watch the show all season long, but that was Drew. And Drew's 14 years old. And she was a contestant on this show. She got knocked out at like number 6. She could have gone all the way, but she just loved Justin Bieber. For her audition song, she sang, Baby or Baby O or Oh Baby, whatever. And she said, they had a whole package on her, and she said, I just love him. She's got him over her bed. And then after she got the yes on the audition, she came off stage, and her brother had a little mohawk, little younger brother, said, do you ever think you'll get to sing with Justin Bieber? She goes, God, I hope so. So even though she was wrongfully eliminated, just a few weeks ago, they pulled her back and let her just do that little bit right there. She was great. So anyway.
And it was totally at random and not at all scripted or planned in any way.
Thank you for realizing
Well,
that.
I mean, as far as bringing her back to sing with him, yeah, but I don't think it was scripted that she got kicked off the show.
Oh, it was. Everything was scripted, man. Don't even get me started.
Well, she didn't deserve to be kicked off before Marcus.
I'm sipping my coffee.
I mean, the girl can sing. I don't know if you could hear it in that little soundbite right there, but yeah, she's 14 years old. Anyway, so go ahead. Go ahead and blast me or whatever. I think the kid is good. Go ahead, Abby.
I'm not blasting anything. I mean, I have not gotten Bieber fever, but I chalk it up to going and getting my what are those called? The shots you get to not get things. I lost the word.
Your
what is it?
Flu shot, your
vaccination.
Vaccination.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
no, I think he's a good singer. It's not my cup of tea by any means, but he definitely did a fantastic job. But see, I'm looking at this from a totally different point of view. Maybe it's because I've been watching not enough X Factor and too much Fashion Police, but I think what stole the show was Paula's dress, and not necessarily in a good way. I don't know what was up with that pink and red thing, so.
Okay.
Distracted me from the singing, Larry.
We don't do fashion.
Yeah, that's a good point. We don't do fashion. That's why we need
I don't know. That's
why we need you.
The bow tie, and I've seen Larry's jeans, so.
Okay. The holy ones?
I'm going to beg to differ.
The holy jeans from the 90s that he keeps patching up, is that the ones you're talking about?
Yeah.
How many times have those come back in style, though, Larry?
For 40 years. He had them back in the 30s.
No, I actually have more than one pair of ripped jeans.
Are you
I have several. But
the 90s called. They want them back.
All right. Well, listen, we're going to wrap up with one more clip from the X Factor. We have to show the winner, okay? We haven't showed her yet. Melanie Amaro, she got the W. She got the win. She got the $5 million contract. If you haven't seen it, I mean, the girl can sing. Here it is. Oh, God. She goes, this is something I wanted all my life, She's 19,
That's a long
all
life.
my life. Jonathan, you get the first word.
I have to kind of go back to Etan, who's in the chat room. You got to keep it together. Like if you're gonna win $5 million contract, you got to put profession on the line first. You got to keep your shit together, and you got to peel that song out like, this is why I deserve the $5 million. So I love Melanie, and I think she did well for the notes that she was able to hit. But I'm sorry, if I'm gonna give you $5 million, I want cold steel peeling out those notes. I'm sorry.
Avi?
Yeah, I think Larry hit the nail on the head. She's 19.
True.
Does she really
True.
have the emotional capacity to handle something like $5 million and having her life transformed forever? So, I mean, I think that that's a big weight to carry at any age, but certainly at the age of 19.
And Avi, I know you didn't watch the show this year, but a big thing with her, she had a breakthrough moment about 6 weeks ago or 7 weeks ago. When she was younger, she was kind of being raised by her grandmother or her aunt or whatever in the Virgin Islands because her parents couldn't, keep her. And so when she came back to Florida, she had a very heavy Virgin Islands accent, and all the kids made fun of her. She was heavy, and so she was teased a lot. So they couldn't understand how she talked. So she had to learn how to speak kind of like to cover it up. And she even went through several weeks of this competition covering it up. And then she had a breakout moment where she busted out crying at the end of a show, and she busted into her Virgin Islands accent saying, "This is me, this is Melanie." And it was a breakthrough moment for her. So, for this girl, and one of the things, we cut off some of the comments. Actually, when that was the winning performance, she sang that song the night before for her $5 million song, Listen, by Beyonce. And Simon made a comment to her. She, tore it up. That was her where it was structured, where she wasn't all emotional.
Put together.
She didn't know she had won yet. And Simon said, "Melanie, you don't have to worry. No one's going to make fun of you anymore."
Nice.
So they're not going to tease you anymore. So, it was kind of nice to see. All right. Well, the one we didn't show, and I'm done with it. We've been an hour already. I told you we were going to do a lot of the X Factor because, all season long we were disappointed week after week, and the finale had a lot of good stuff. But all season...
Tell me you saw Paula's dress, though.
Oh, absolutely.
This puffy part here, I was appalled.
Well, now
it was like hot pink and red. But I don't know what that was.
But Paula's my girl now. That's my girl. I love Paula. And
is she forever your girl, Larry?
Yes, straight up too. But absolutely. The thing is, Paula would always come out, when they introduced the judges at the beginning of the show, and she was always wearing the shortest skirts, like she was 16 or 17 years old, short skirts, dresses. But she carries it, in the high heels and everything. But that's my girl.
Joan Rivers would beg to differ. But that's a different show altogether.
Well, Joan's my girl too now. So
wow,
you got to be careful with that one too. I love Joan Rivers too. But anyway, so one of the things I was saying for the last 5 or 6 weeks, maybe even longer than that, is I all season long wanted to see Josh and Melanie do a duet. Mm-hmm. You and I picked out Josh and Melanie early on in this competition as the two strongest singers, which they clearly were.
Yep.
And I just said, I can't wait to see them do a duet. And I had given up on it when we got to the finale. And on the last night, they actually did do a duet.
Nice.
Did you see it?
No.
All right, I'll tell you what. We'll just show just the duet. We won't show the comments. We won't show the build-up. Ronnie, you have it in there? Yeah, all right. This was the duet. All season long, we were asking for a Josh and Melanie duet, and the producers have eventually figured it out. Here they are, the two strongest singers in the competition.
Right now, I am between two warring families, the Amaros and the Krajciks. Let's speak to Josh's daughter, Rowan, first. Rowan, how proud are you of your father right now?
Words cannot really describe it. Whatever happens, no matter what happens, there's no possible way I could be any prouder.
I don't blame you. The very best of luck. Very best of luck. Let's talk to Melanie's mum, Deborah. How are you feeling right now? Proud?
I'm very proud. I'm very excited. I'm happy to see that Melanie is living her dream, singing as a little girl. I love you, Melanie. Congratulations. All the best to you.
Very best of luck to both of you guys. Okay, in just a couple of moments, we'll find out who has won. Before that, here are the final two in a very, very special duet. Josh Krajcik and Melanie Amaro.
swim. Like the dolphins, they can swim.
Yeah, nothing can take us together. Oh, we can be heroes just for one day.
We can be heroes. We can be heroes. Yeah. I can remember
Standing by the wall.
we can be heroes.
Just for one day. Yeah, we can be heroes.
We can be heroes. Yeah.
We can be heroes.
We can be heroes.
Yeah, we can be heroes.
We can be heroes.
Oh, we can be heroes.
We can be heroes.
Just for one day. I love you.
All right. I saw you smiling over there, Abby. Did you like it?
Sorry.
No, that's good. Did you like it?
Yes, I was distracted in the chat room.
Oh.
The song choice was not great, but the talent was there for sure.
That's David Bowie. You didn't like that, huh? Heroes?
I love Bowie. I really do. I mean, from Ziggy Stardust on, I'm a Bowie fan. But yeah.
All right. Well, that'll put a wrap on the X Factor. Jonathan, thank you for hanging in there tonight.
Hey, man, my pleasure.
That's the longest X Factor segment we've ever done.
Ever.
But it was the only good week ever. I mean,
True.
You know, some of the auditions were good, but the season was really tough. But the last week, they really put it together. All right. So we'll say goodbye to Jonathan. Thank you, Jonathan.
Good night, everybody. Happy New
Bye,
Year.
Jonathan.
Good night, Abby. Happy New Year.
To you as well.
All righty. And but okay, before we go to the next segment here, I'm going to make a call out here for the contest. We're doing it a little bit different tonight. You know, in the past, you know, there was only going to be one email entry per person per show. We were giving some watches away. By the way, I did get that watch out, Abby. They should have it probably tomorrow, I believe. But nevertheless, we're doing it a little different. I had a friend, I guess, a viewer friend in California that got a hold of me and made a suggestion. I said, all right, we'll try it. We're giving out some movie tickets tonight, probably 2 pair. And he said, look, you know, when people watch the show, they put in the entry in the beginning of the show, and then they have to wait an hour and a half for the drawing, you know, and every time we make another call out, but they can't send it in. So here's the way we're doing it now. Every time we make a call out, like right now, you can send in another entry, but you have 5 minutes to do it. So if we make 3 or 4 call outs in the show for the entries, you can have 3 or 4 chances to win in the mailbox. Each time we're emptying it into a certain folder. So right now you can send in another entry to win a pair of movie tickets to AMC theaters. You're going to put AMC in the subject line. That's AMC. And by the way, I didn't say it last time, but in the body of the email, you do need to put your name, city, and state. First name, last name, city, and state. Name, city, and state in the body of the email. The subject line, you're going to put AMC. Send it to contact@acorn.tv, and you might win a pair of movie tickets to the AMC. And these are the I think they call them the premier or the premium tickets, which are good at, you know, any movie, anytime at the AMC theater. So it's pretty cool. And we'll give a couple pairs away tonight. Looks like we got a lot of activity out there in the green room. So now is the time when you want to go ahead and send in an email, and you'll have another entry in the drawing. Also, you might notice tonight the website looks a little bit different. We don't have the chat board on the homepage. We encourage you to go to our Facebook page, our Acorn TV Facebook page, and you can post on the wall and interact with each other there on the wall. Or if you want to send questions in, feel free to, you can put a question into an email and send it to contact@acorn.tv, and we'll take your questions right here on the air. All right, now I know Abby's anxiously awaiting to get to the Classic Film Zone, as am I, but I think we have a caller on the line. Is he still on the line? Eric, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, Eric, you've been very, very patient.
Yes, I am.
Thank you for being so patient, Eric. And did you
you're welcome.
Is your question for me?
No, I just wanted to comment. I really enjoyed X Factor, and I really enjoy your show, and just want to thank you, Larry, for what you do.
Well, thank you, Eric. Where are you calling in from?
From Leawood, Kansas.
From Leawood, Kansas?
Right.
All right. So was Melanie Amaro your choice?
Yes, she was.
Okay.
I was very glad she won. I believe she deserved it, and she has a great voice. They actually, all of them won, so they're all their lives will change.
Well, no question about it. They already have. But, thank you for supporting the show, Eric. I really appreciate it. Once again, thanks for calling in. And anybody else who wants to call in, the number's right there on the website, right below the player. Also, if you have video Skype, you can video Skype us to Acorn TV, and we can put you on a split screen with Avi or myself or whoever. We're going to get Tim in here in a few minutes. But, Eric, thanks again, and we appreciate your support. Okay, he's down. All right. I think now, are you ready for this, Abby?
I am. I think I'm fuzzy, though, and I'm trying to fix it. But I told you I'm not technologically savvy, so I apologize if my camera is out of focus.
Well, you are savvy, Abby. What we're going to do now, folks, is we're going to go to the Classic Film Zone, and when we come back, we're going to come back to Abby as she anchors our Classic Film Zone. Let's go to it now, the Classic Film Zone.
Hello, I'm Savvy Abby for the Classic Film Zone. And tonight we are going to be featuring an absolute classic. It's Holiday Inn, a film from 1942 starring Fred Astaire and Bing Crosby. Excuse me. In this film, we find a fantastic, famous showbiz trio that split up, would you guess it, over a lady. So let's take a listen as the three of them perform together in this classic piece. Absolutely love that one. And if you all have not seen the movie Holiday Inn, you really need to tune in. And maybe email me on how to not get my Skype video to be fuzzy. But next on the Classic Film Zone, we are going to take you again into Holiday Inn. Now, in this particular clip, little known fact, we are actually going to see Bing Crosby sing the iconic song White Christmas. Now, the little known fact about this is that most people assume the song White Christmas was actually from the movie White Christmas, but it first gained its popularity in this 1942 hit Holiday Inn. Now, the premise is that he is opening this fantastic nightclub in a barn he's purchased out in Connecticut in this farmhouse. And he has decided that he's only going to be open on the holidays. Hence, the holiday song, White Christmas. So Bing Crosby has actually written a song for each of the holidays. And here he is, without further ado, Bing Crosby singing the classic, White Christmas. So that was Bing Crosby with the lovely Marjorie Reynolds. And although she did an outstanding job in this movie, she really doesn't have much of a filmography outside of this. I believe this was her most iconic role, although Larry could probably tell you more about that. As far as the next clip that we have for you, Larry, did you want to touch on that?
Well, good call on Marjorie Reynolds there. She was pretty young when she did that film in 1942. But actually, the voice was a singer by the name of Martha Mears. Martha, that was dubbed, and Martha Mears had dubbed for quite a few films. But, that song was, of course, written by Irving Berlin specifically for this movie.
Well, I think it's absolutely beautiful. And apparently so did everybody in that era, because they made an entire film based on that one song.
Yeah, of course. And that was, how many years later? Maybe, was it 10 or 12 years later, I think? But when was White Christmas made? Do you know? I don't know off the top of my head.
Yeah, not off the top of my head, but that sounds about right, that it was a number of years after the fact.
One of the things I love about this movie, and Avi, I'm so happy. The job you're doing is just awesome, But one of the things I love about this movie is Astaire and Crosby are at the top of their game here in 1942. They were both individual stars at the time, and they worked together. We're seeing the two of them, like I say, at the top of their game. And that's what makes this movie so special for me.
I agree. And, while Fred Astaire is arguably, remembered more as the debonair one, I swear my heart belongs to Bing. He has my heart just tied around his pinky, if that's even possible. I mean, the man owns me in this film. It's absolutely fantastic. He's such a gem. And the entire movie really is such a gem. To anybody that hasn't seen it, I highly recommend that you do. There's a lot of really fantastic interactions between the two of them, and we saw that in the first opening piece. They're actually fighting over women the majority of the film, and it gets to be highly entertaining. Yeah.
Now, Abby, just out of curiosity, I want you to keep rolling here with the Classic Film Zone, but can you give me a hint? What are you going to give us next?
Well,
what number? Because I queued up about 8 or 9 numbers here. I didn't know where you were going to go, so I spent the night just grabbing, pretty much all the numbers. Although I think the one you had sent me an email saying you liked the thing "I'm Lazy." That's one of the ones I skipped.
I know, which I was really surprised at that. What I really loved about that, and those of you that will watch the film, you'll see it in the beginning. Bing Crosby decides that he's going to leave show business to open up a farm out in Connecticut, and he wants to take his woman with him. Well, little does he know that his woman has actually run off with Fred Astaire. You find that out in one of the opening scenes. But when Bing Crosby actually leaves to go to the farm, he's in the process of telling Fred Astaire and the other woman, Lila, who is portrayed by Virginia Dale. But he's telling them about why he bought this farm. And his whole point is that he wants to experience this lackadaisical, nonchalant kind of a life away from it all. And he tells them that he's determined to be lazy. So the song where he's singing about living this lazy lifestyle is beautifully contrasted with scenes of Bing Crosby carrying wood and milking the cows and, shoveling hay and doing all this work that a farm entails. So it's quite comical. And actually, you'll find those kind of iconic comical scenes throughout the entire play. So, Larry, I understand where you would have had a hard time pulling particular scenes from this film.
Yeah, definitely so. And, the whole idea now with the Classic Film Zone is to keep it to about a 15-minute segment. Before we kind of evolved the format of this show, Avi, I was doing, 45 minutes and showing 6-7 clips because you can see I like to show clips.
Yes.
But anyway, we just want to keep it to 2 or 3. It's hard with every movie, but that doesn't mean you have to leave us. I've got Tim. In fact, Ronnie, can you call Tim to come in here? But Avi, what number do you want to take us to next?
Well, where I'd really like to take you, because I was actually torn about this one, which I also told you in an email. But there is a scene that I think sums up why Fred Astaire is as fantastic and as well known today as he is. And this is a scene where Fred Astaire, his woman, who by the way he stole from Bing Crosby, has just left him for another man. So we find Fred Astaire completely forlorn and completely schmammered. This guy is drunk as a skunk.
Drunk dancing.
He shows up at the Holiday Inn and he decides to just grab a partner and kind of start dancing. Well, Fred Astaire has the most fantastic performance of a drunk man dancing that you begin to wonder if he really was drinking on the job. I mean, this is absolute perfection. The comedic timing is there, the performance is there, and I'm telling you, if you're not smiling by the end of it, then I don't know what to tell you.
Interesting little story before we go to the clip, and great choice. I'm so glad you picked that one. I wasn't sure you would. because you and I didn't really have time to communicate with the holidays and everything. We'll communicate better. But interesting story on this one, and you said it right on the money, Avi. If you had time to check the special features, his daughter, Fred Astaire's daughter, gives a long interview about the making of this movie. And what her father did, he knew, Fred Astaire is never seen in any way other than elegant. The only other time is when he dressed up like a hobo in Easter Parade with Judy Garland. But he always is seen with his top hat and very elegant, and he doesn't like to be seen as anything other than graceful. So to do this scene as a drunk, what he was doing, he felt like he needed to take a shot, like a whiskey shot, before the take. And he took a whiskey shot literally before every take. This was the 9th take that they finally did it.
Wow.
So he was
drunk.
He was pretty schnockered, but you can still see the Astaire grace. But we'll go back to Avi and let her introduce it.
I love it. And I did not watch the special features, Larry, because I've not yet received my copy of the DVD. But interesting fact for you moviegoers out there, you can actually live stream all of these classic films on Amazon.com. So $2.99. I was able to stream the movie before it ever showed up at my house. So there you have it. And in this scene, again, we are going to watch Fred Astaire in quite arguably one of his best performed pieces. This is Fred Astaire's Drunk Dancing from the 1942 movie. That is an absolute gem for sure. And again, if you've not seen this movie, we are talking about how...
Okay, it looks like we lost our connection with Avi. We'll get her back. Don't worry, we're going to get her back on the line. But listen, while we're getting Avi back on the line, Avi, are you back? Okay, all right. We're going to get her back on. That's what happens when you have these, these long-range connections.
Hello.
Okay, you're back.
Yes.
All right. I just was going to introduce a friend. Let me introduce a friend real quick. Go to a solo shot here, Ronnie. No, with my friend, with Tim. Yeah, I know. Check it out.
Like in the green room?
Yeah, like you give me a split shot. I wanted a solo on Tim, but that's cool. But Tim just made it here to the studio a little bit earlier, Avi, and he's really enjoying your commentary on this film.
Hi, Tim.
Hi. Miss you.
Miss you.
So, come back up and do another show. I'm still, and I know you are too, I'm still getting huge positive feedback from the retro launch, and I thought you were amazing, and it was a thrill to have you here.
Thank you. I'm wearing my P51.
I regret not getting one of those. I have to tell. I should have grabbed it, and I didn't.
Can I tell you, this was graciously given to me by a viewer who saw and heard that I did not have the chance to order one. So this was a Christmas present, and I'm so grateful for it.
Didn't he post on your Facebook, I think?
Yes.
Yeah, because I went in through and I was like, oh, I like that one, I like that one. Yeah, it's just
I swear,
phenomenal
that goes
collection.
down to, like, coolest gift ever.
Yeah, I agree. So it's really cool. I think you're doing an amazing job with your take on film. You're a great asset to the Acorn TV team. I'm glad you're here.
You know what, though, Tim? You're so partial. You're my biggest fan. You always were a great supporter, and I appreciate it.
I am, but it doesn't mean I'm not right.
That's fair.
Good deal. There you go.
Well, anyway, Avi, it's a great choice with the drunk dancing, and where else are you going to take us with this? We're having fun. It's we're getting close to New Year's Eve already. We're having a good time between Christmas and New Year's, so all the rules are going out the window tonight.
Oh, man.
So, and by the way, anybody out there, if you want to call in and talk to Avi, you can call in the phone number. We'll put you on a split screen with Avi or Tim. And we have somebody else that just showed up. Mike Davis is here too, but it's a party. It's a party, Avi. But folks,
I do have to comment on the blonde that we saw in the movie, and
yes.
Of course, her name again is Marjorie Reynolds.
Mm-hmm.
Marjorie Reynolds in this film, as I mentioned, was absolutely exquisite. We first meet her in the movie when she's actually working in a flower shop, and she kind of talks her way in to get in good with the manager. Ends up working at the Holiday Inn for Bing Crosby. But that's who you see dancing with Fred Astaire. And I have to tell you, for a woman to be able to hold her own next to Fred Astaire, I think that speaks volumes to her talent.
Yeah, they actually, for this movie, they wanted to get some, bigger name talent other than, Virginia Dale and Marjorie Reynolds. But they already had Astaire and Crosby, and they didn't want to spend any more money. I mean, they were looking at Ginger Rogers. They talked about a number of, big name people, but it ended up with Marjorie Reynolds. They didn't want to increase the budget. And Virginia Dale played the other lady in the movie.
I'm happy for it, honestly, because I thought those girls were the perfect foils to these gentlemen. And honestly, job well done for those ladies to be able to hold their own. So I thought their performances were outstanding. Now, a lot of the movie has to do with couples dancing like we just saw. However, there is a scene in which Fred Astaire finds himself completely and totally alone. And Larry, I know you know the scene. He is without partner, and the show must go on, as you all know. But what's especially daunting about this particular performance at the Holiday Inn is the fact that Fred Astaire actually is performing for big Hollywood producers. So here he is on his own, no woman to be found, and it's for the 4th of July. Because again, the premise of the movie is that they're only open each holiday. So it's 4th of July. Fred Astaire's manager says, you got to get out there. You got to just make it happen. Come up with something. So you see Fred Astaire literally shove fireworks into his pocket, and then he proceeds to the dance floor. So another gem. I know I keep saying it, but this movie is full of them. Here is Fred Astaire performing his firecracker dance from 1942's Holiday Inn.
Well, we got a full house here, as you can see, Abby. That's me kneeling behind
Tim. All my boys, all you guys are here.
Yeah, Mike wanted to jump in and say hi to you before you had to sign off.
Hi, Mike.
Since we didn't hardly get to talk the last time.
I know, and I still owe you that drink.
Or, yeah, at least one. Leave it at that.
At least.
At least.
Abby,
they always seem to lead to another.
I know, one after the other. Tim's a bad influence on us.
Abby, any final words on this movie before you sign off?
I'm telling you guys, absolutely check out Holiday Inn. It's 1942. It's just an unbelievable treasure through and through. So many fantastic moments. And I hope you guys will tune in for the next Classic Film Zone, which will be next year. That'll be January the 4th. Of course, same time, same place on Acorn TV. And for Acorn TV and the Classics Film Zone, I am Abby Vieira, and thank you guys so much for having me.
Yay.
Thanks, Abby. Thank you very much. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
All right, listen, that was great. We finally did it, the hookup to Knoxville, Tennessee. That was awesome. All right, before we move forward, let's make one more call out. We're going to do a drawing. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to give away a pair of tickets to the AMC theaters. And what you have to do is you have to send in an email to contact@acorn.tv. And in the subject line, just put AMC. These are good for the AMC theaters. So put AMC in the subject line. And in the body of the email, put your first name, last name, city, and state. Okay? And you'll want to send it now. You get about 5 minutes to do that. And if you've already sent in 2, then this will be your third entry in the drawing. If you're just joining us now, you'll have 1 entry in the drawing. We're trying it a new way this week. Okay, so we'll let that roll for 5 minutes, and then I think we'll do a drawing. And if anybody wants to call in and talk to Big Mike Davis or Tim Temple or myself, give us a call right there on the screen there below the player. You see the studio phone number, the 310 number, or give us a Skype video call, and we'll put you on a split screen. Well, first thing I want to know, Mike, and we got to get a third camera here if I'm going to start having lots of guests here and everything. But we'll work that out.
Wait till the minions show up.
That's right. Minions, Larry. Minions.
The first thing I want to know, Mike, is you just came off the air and you came running over here to join us. So thank you very much.
No problem.
How did it go?
Went good. Clearance event. Invicta and clearance are 2 words that go very, very well together. Was on with Allison, so it was always a fun show working with Allison. So, yeah, had a good time. And we're back at it tomorrow night as well. And
I know you had the ceramic Russian diver. How did that go?
The level of I told you so meter was very high on that one. Tim and I sold out the white version before we finished up the first hour, yeah. So did very, very well. So it went to limited quantities, and we've been doing once onlys the rest of today.
Fantastic. And I think you had mentioned that Sunday you were thinking about going to a movie. Did you end up going?
Yeah, actually went and saw Sherlock Holmes and was as disappointed with the second one as I was the first one.
Yes, I haven't seen the second
one. It wasn't a bad
but...
movie, just wasn't a great movie, and it was barely a good movie. So I have higher hopes for Girl with the Dragon Tattoo or maybe Mission Impossible.
I've seen that. I've seen both of those.
Well, I tried the foreign language one, but I'm from Texas. Right?
So you didn't like it because I think that
no, it wasn't that I didn't like it. It was trying to keep up with the subtitles and a plot in a foreign language was way more.
I really liked the Swedish one. And I don't want. There's going to be guys in the audience that haven't seen it. You're thinking about seeing it. My only comment is David Fincher, the director, in the last couple of months has made some pretty ridiculous bragging statements, and I will say that. This film does not back up a single one of them, where he was claiming that this is going to be iconic and you're not even going to remember the Swedish one after you see this. And none of that's true. I'll leave it at that. It doesn't mean it's a bad film, but it is not in any way living up to the hype, in my opinion.
You know, the one I'm looking forward to, have either one of you seen the previews for, what is the name of it? Tom Hanks, Sandra Bullock, the new kid. Extremely loud, and I think
no, I haven't
part
seen
of
that one.
The basic plot is the father dies in 9/11. His kid finds a key in his belongings and goes on kind of this scavenger hunt to find. He's convinced that his father wanted him to find something to teach him this message. And I'm sorry, Sandra Bullock, you put her in the right movie. She is an incredible actress. The Blind Side, I thought, was such, besides the fact that it was a true story and was kind of cool the way that whole situation worked out. Her in the right movie is. Yeah,
I think
great.
she was stellar in that one. I think actually she got a bad rap for. I think the movie is called All About Steve. I thought that was. She was supposed to be hammy and over the top.
And you and I've had the conversation before. There's certain movies that people take to make money, not to necessarily make a good movie. So,
and then there's a lot of Hollywood icons that do that on a regular basis now. Films I want to pin hopes on. I'm looking at two of them coming up. War Horse, I'm hopeful for, and I'll probably see that in the immediate future. And the other, which is out in limited release, it's just not in this market, is Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy.
Jean Le Carré.
Yes.
And actually a phenomenal cat. Was it Colin Farrell? Mm-hmm. And, of course, Gary Oldman. Playing George Smiley. So, yeah, it's if you can't tell, we're both movie buffs.
Yeah,
so,
a little bit.
War Horse, I wasn't all excited about. I was ready to kind of pass on that.
The more I hear about it, the more I'm intrigued. It's sort of in vogue, I think, by some film buffs to not. By definition, I don't like Spielberg because he's Spielberg. I think Spielberg does some fantastic work. I also think he misses huge. I mean,
he'd be the only reason I'd go see it.
Yeah, I mean, try to sit through War of the Worlds. I mean, he doesn't make great films all the time. But on the other hand, you could look at some of the obvious, like Schindler's List, or even some of his.
Well, at least he didn't do, what was it, Battleground Los Angeles or whatever it was called.
That's an atrocity. That one.
Yeah.
But all right, well, let's go off on a tangent there for a second. We're going to get into sci-fi films.
I feel like I'm back at
work. Yes, exactly. With the but I can do this here because I don't have to come back to a watch in a few seconds. What is it with the obsession with filmmakers that an alien species that has the ability to fold space, or however they get here, that they're actually going to take us on with an army? I've never understood that. Even in that film, they're literally going house to house. It's like an alien force that can fold space and get here. We're dead before they ever land.
But then you have a 3-minute movie.
Exactly. So somehow I just have to have this huge leap of faith that even though they can go through time and they get all the, when they get here, they've got handheld weapons and they're hiding behind trees and running about making mischief.
Or they die from a cold.
Or there's that. Yeah, they didn't think of the microbes.
Yeah, so that was...
it's H.G. Wells.
No, the remake they did, The Kid with the Water.
Is that the one, Independence Day?
No,
There's a great list, by the way, for you film buffs.
That was Mel Gibson and...
Signs.
Signs, yes. Yeah.
That's an M. Night Shyamalan that it's quasi-watchable.
Oh, don't even get me started on that guy.
I'll give him 6 cents. I thought that was a fantastic film, but he's never done one since.
One or two. No, the one with Bryce Howard was good.
Which one was that? Because his last few...
The one where they
if
were
you can make it
off,
through Lady
like
in the Water or whatever that was. No, I know the one. Okay, let's talk about that one. I can't think of the name of it.
Lady in the Water, I actually liked, and a friend of mine was actually in.
You're the one that liked it.
Yeah, I was like the one
but you
guy.
knew somebody in it.
I knew somebody in it. Yeah,
I've done it unwatchable, and he followed that up with the wind or something that was going around the world, and when Mark
where the
Wahlberg
planet was trying to kill human race.
Anyway, no, the problem I have with the one that. With the print like they're pilgrims or something, is he's too clever by half because the film is predicated on a lie. Now, 6 Sense was not. They never said, this guy's actually dead and you got to look for the red doorknob. I mean, he had all these clues. It was actually, I thought, pretty clever. The problem with that is that in the opening shot, right on the screen, it tells you they're like in the 17th century or something. It actually comes up and it tells you that.
Yeah, no, you're right.
So he lied to you from day one, and that's not clever. That's just lying.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Are we ready to give away some tickets?
Yeah.
Just...
Huh? No, that's cool.
Sure, we can give away some tickets.
No, listen, I'm happy that you guys are both here. This is what Chilling with Larry's all about. You guys come over here and you have some food and drink, and let's chill. But listen, what we need right now, Mike, I'm going to have you give away the tickets, but what we need is we need a caller. So let's have a caller. Somebody call in. If you just want to call in to help us with the drawing, that's fine.
Only
but
that. You don't have to speak to anyone.
But if you have a question for Tim or Mike or myself, we'll take your question. Just call the 310 number on the, you see right below the player right there. Let's get a caller in here. We want this to be completely open and transparent. And we're ready to give away a pair of tickets. And I said I'll give away 2 pair tonight, so that's what we're going to do. But we got to have somebody call in. So come on, somebody out there, give us a call. All right. Let's see, Tim.
Yes?
I'm going to be on the air next week. Am I on with you?
You are not, but I happen to know what you're going to be doing.
Stay with the mic. This isn't the lavalier mics. Okay.
All right, I like.
I saw your new watch.
It's awesome. The ceramic.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That was. You have it, and you. Some of you may have heard this on the air, and not going to get into talking watch mode unless somebody wants to, but just to say, because it's about Larry's watch here, but you'll hear us say, oh, well, you can always tell when the watch is going to be a hit because the crew's interested in it, which is actually very true. That's not a made-up. 2 of the guys from Visuals grabbed me as I came in and, was getting ready to do the show, meet with Allison.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, come here, check this out. What do you think?
Was it the white or the black?
No, they had both sitting out, so I got to see both.
Yeah, it's pretty hot.
They had them on the little tray there by the
I'm
door.
excited about it. We're just getting...
That should do well. Yeah. I don't know what the price is going to be.
I do know what the price
Sterling is. Always does good prices. So I'm expecting you should see big things.
It's a limited edition. There's only 400 pieces, Mike. So
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, there's 320 in the black and 80 in the white, and I'll be looking forward to doing that. I think it's next.
There's 80.
Yeah. Well, they expect men to order black. A lot of men don't go for white. You know that. I love the white.
I think the white will sell out.
You know what? If there's only 80, the white is gone in one airing. That won't even be a show. That'll be the
last night
first
with
time
us
it's on the
doing
screen.
the white ceramic, which had some other color, the black, to go along with that. But
but so does this. First of all, it's a bone white, and secondly, you've still got the carbon fiber. You've got this is not like a South Beach.
And may I say, guys, if you're listening to us and you don't own a white watch yet, I waited way too long, and I'm kicking myself. I finally got that white Revolution, Lupa Revolution, because I was texting with you because I saw you had it on with a show with Ryan. It was like, dude, you need to do something with this watch. Absolutely love them. So you're going to have, when does that air?
I think it's Tuesday night at midnight Eastern. We're doing it's going to be a TTV, today's top value, and I think it's going to be priced under $700. So that's going to be a real value right there for a tourbillon. Anyway, ceramic tourbillon. I think we have a caller on the line. Do we not?
Abby's on the phone.
Oh, okay. So we'll get that caller in here. I think we have a caller on the line. Who is
Yes.
Who is
Hello?
it?
It's Abby.
Savvy Abby, you told me you had to go.
I know, I did. But then, my guy hops in the shower. So.
Oh, you had to go because it was your guy? You're leaving us men for your guy?
Listen, let me tell you something.
Uh-huh.
I know there's 3 of you guys, and there's only 1 of him. But I've been a negligent woman all week. So I've been out of town caring for a friend that's been under the weather and entertaining my cousin who's in town from Brazil. And so I've just been kind of flighty. So I felt terrible that, he had to eat cold pizza for dinner and hasn't seen me in a while. So I apologize.
All right, Abby.
But it's nothing personal.
Give us a number between 1. Now, we got to get the thing up there, don't we? Okay. Give us a number between 1 and 40.
Ooh, that's good. 1 and 40.
Yep.
Okay, all right, let's see. 1 and 40. You know what? I'm going to go with my lucky number. I'm going to go with 23.
All right, let's cut to the shot here. You know what? Our system is crashing. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, no.
I know.
Abby has that effect on a lot of us.
Okay. You know what? They're going to have to trust me. Hang on there, folks. Okay.
That's wrong. Is it because I have too many windows open?
No, it's not your system. It's our system. And to reboot, we're going to lose the feed and we have to restart it up. So we're going to have to sign off in a minute. Let me go see. Abby, give us another number then besides 23. I'm going to go get 2 winners.
Okay. Then I'm also going to stick with the number 3 and go 13. That was my
all right.
my number on the basketball team.
13 and 23. Hang on. I'll be right back.
13 and 23. See, I would have thought she went.
I like 23 because it's my birthday. My birthday's on the 23rd.
Oh, we didn't lose it. So it's Tim and I.
Yeah,
here. So what
you're,
you been up to,
you're
Abby?
in the pilot's chair.
Oh, I'm in the pilot's chair. Make it so, number 1.
Yes.
I don't want to make too many Minions references and get people angry at me.
No, I think you should.
No, someone actually... You didn't see that on Facebook?
Well, I saw the Minion. What are you referring to?
No, they made a post that they didn't like that.
They did not like the Minions?
Yes. Okay. I understand we are back.
I don't know if I can add anything to that.
Ronnie got the system back up. So number 13 is Richard Moskowitz in Avondale, Arizona.
Richard.
Can we get a larger screenshot on that, please?
Oh, he's a good egg, that Richard.
Can we read that? Is that readable? Go bigger. And just scroll down. What's so funny, Mike?
Nothing.
All right.
Just engaging filter.
Just scroll it from the right.
Uh-huh.
There it is. Richard Moskowitz, Avondale, Arizona. Thank you very much. He gets the first pair of tickets. Now, if we can go back out, let's go down to number 23. Click on the inbox. All right. Ronnie, you want to help her? You want me to help her? Okay. Inbox. Or not the inbox, but the contest folder. So that's number 13. Now go down to number 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Open it up.
Yep, back 1.
Let's see who it is. What does it say?
Kevin! I know Kevin. Kevin's on my Facebook page.
Kevin Gillooly in Woonsocket, Rhode Island. All right, Kevin, do us a favor. Send us your address, and I'll mail you the tickets. Okay? Send us your shipping address, your mailing address, and I will send out the AMC Theater tickets. All right?
Good job, Kevin. Kevin, I know, is on my my Facebook page. I remember the last
Abby,
name.
nice choice. 2 winners, 2 pair of tickets.
Thank you so much.
And thanks for calling in. And you can get back to your man now. Unless you...
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. He came out of the shower and caught me on the phone, on the computer, chatting.
Okay.
So that's like every form of technological sin you can commit in one fell swoop.
Just
opening of a Jerry Springer episode.
Just call me when you want to talk, Abby, and we'll figure out for next week.
Good.
Okay.
Thanks again, guys.
Thanks,
Bye.
Abby. All right. So for a minute there, I thought we had our first crash of the year with the new software, but it was a false alarm.
Highly trained professional over there. Paid professional.
Yes.
over there,
Nicely done, Ronnie. He got us back up and running.
Well played, son.
Listen, guys, it's getting late, so I think we're about ready to wrap it up. What do you think?
You're the boss.
I think you two should hang for a bit.
No, I think we're okay.
You can discuss things.
We can hang out there. But listen, I want to make sure everybody has a great New Year. But we do end every show with, what we end it with, right, Tim?
I do.
Which is what?
It would be a black and white film.
Judy Garland. I have to do. And, I was trying to figure out what number, and I was searching around on YouTube. I know all my own DVDs and everything. But I found, some interesting things out there on YouTube. Some people, they do their own little tributes with their own editing and taking stills and movie shots and video, and they put it together to music. I found a really interesting one about, I think it's called So She's Dancing, Ronnie. Do you see it in there? Are you in the Judy folder? Yeah, okay, I got it. Yeah. But anyway, this was a tribute put together by some YouTuber out there. And just a whole montage of clips of Judy Garland put to music. I think it was really well done. And I think it would just be a nice way to remember Judy Garland as we leave 2011. We're heading into 2012, and this will be the final Always Chasing Rainbows section of the year. So let's do it now. Always Chasing Rainbows. All right. Oh, it is? Okay. So let's do it now. Here's a tribute to Judy Garland as we end the year.
She turns to the window to sway in the moonlight. Even her shadow has grace. A waltz for the girl out of reach. She lifts her hands up to the sky. She moves with the music. The song is her lover, the melody's making her cry. So she dances in and out of the crowd like a glance. This romance is from afar, calling me silently. A waltz for the chance I should take, but how will I know where to start? She's spinning between constellations and dreams. Her rhythm is my beating heart. So she dances in and out of the crowd like a glance. This romance is from afar, calling me silently. I can't keep on watching forever. I give up this view just to tell her. When I close my eyes, I can see the spotlights are bright on you and me. We've got the floor, and you're in my arms.
Okay. Well, listen, that was it. I want to thank everybody who participated tonight. We had a little bit of a rocky start right there, a little shock right there when I thought the system was crashing. But our first live remote with Savvy Abby from Knoxville, Tennessee, I thought went overall pretty smooth, Ronnie, with everything we went through to get this done. And then, of course, Jonathan tonight came back from his vacation. He contributed. I want to thank Mike and Tim both for stopping by. I kind of went to my go-to guys right there here in town because some of the guests that I tried to reach couldn't do it this week. But we'll have some guests lined up. And, of course, I want to thank all of you who've been supporting us out there here on Acorn TV. I really appreciate it. And, of course, as we leave the year, I don't know about you, but I've got a really good feeling about 2012. And I know I've said that in the past, but this time I really feel something like we're building momentum. 2012 is going to be a great year. I think so. And I just hope that 2012 brings you everything that you're hoping for and wishing, and healthy and prosperous new year for all of us, okay? So remember, always keep pursuing your dreams, keep pursuing your goals, keep chasing those rainbows. Until next year now, a week from tonight, I'm Larry Megan. Peace, love, and all good things.
Chill with Larry Megan.